Every November, for exactly 25 minutes, the entire nation of South Korea goes completely silent. Construction sites power down, military drills halt, and commercial airliners are entirely grounded, parked motionless on the tarmac. This massive, coordinated pause happens for one reason: to ensure that high school students can clearly hear the English listening portion of the Suneng, their national college entrance exam. Along with China's Gaokao, these tests act as the singular, unforgiving gatekeepers to university admission and lifelong professional success. Millions of students' futures are determined by a single score, earned over a few grueling hours. This table shows the 2022 PISA reading literacy scores for 15-year-olds across the globe. Notice the very top of the list. Singapore, Japan, and Korea consistently outperform the OECD average, proving this high-pressure rote memorization model is effective at its primary goal, dominating standardized metrics. But there is a heavy psychological toll. While moderate pressure can create eustress, a healthy motivation that keeps students alert, the sheer weight of these exams often pushes students into distress. Research shows this level of chronic anxiety actually impairs cognitive functions like memory and attention, trading long-term mental well-being for short-term test performance. This raises a difficult question for educators. If extreme pressure and relentless memorization are required to build the world's most successful students, how do we explain the nations that reach the top of these same charts by doing the exact opposite? Finland is a top global performer, yet its educational philosophy is a complete inversion of the high-stakes Asian model. This graph illustrates the total intended instruction hours for students in OECD countries. If you look at the bottom, you'll see Finland. Their students spend significantly less time in the classroom and have some of the lightest homework loads in the developed world. Instead of optimizing for specialized mastery, the Finnish system is built around total equity. The goal is to ensure a child's socioeconomic background does not dictate their academic outcome. This chart shows that Finland has a mere 6% performance variance between different schools. Because that between-school variation is so remarkably small, virtually all performance inequality happens within the same building. This means that a child's neighborhood doesn't determine the quality of their education. In Finland, the concept of a bad neighborhood school has been effectively engineered out of existence. Finland doesn't score highly by drilling students for exams. They reach those metrics by building a system designed to produce equitable, well-rounded citizens who are prepared for life rather than just a testing center. Then there is the United States, a system defined by local control. Because American schools are funded largely by local property taxes, wealthy districts often boast facilities and outcomes rivaling the Nordic countries, while underfunded districts in the same state can severely struggle. Yet despite these glaring inequalities and middling international math scores in K-12, American higher education, research, and entrepreneurship continue to lead the world. This identity is reflected in the American vocational education system. Unlike the state-controlled dual systems in Europe, the U.S. relies on a decentralized market of community colleges and private certifications that can pivot quickly to meet the changing needs of regional industries. This flexibility is a hallmark of the liberal arts philosophy found in K-12 and beyond. By prioritizing a breadth of subjects and critical thinking over hyper-specialized test preparation, the system encourages students to explore diverse interests. By allowing regional markets and individual choice to drive the curriculum, the U.S. system fosters a high-end environment for research and new business. However, this individualistic approach is a trade-off. It accepts that the quality of education will vary wildly from one zip code to the next. Looking at these three models, it becomes clear that global rankings like the PISA results are not a definitive measure of the best education. Instead, they reflect how closely a nation aligns its curriculum with the test. In high-stakes systems, schools often narrow their focus to the specific subjects PISA rewards, prioritizing measurable data over broader student development. Each model delivers the specific outcome it was engineered to produce. The high-stakes Asian system produces disciplined masters of specialized subjects. The zero-stakes Finnish system produces equitable, balanced citizens. And the flexible American system produces dynamic innovators. The way a nation structures its classrooms and exams is a deliberate choice about what kind of economy and cultural landscape it wants to build for the next generation. We spend years debating how to fix our schools, but that conversation is backward. We cannot evaluate the success of a system until we first decide what kind of adult